work out, unfortunately, and well, actually, fortunately, it didn't work out.
Yeah, no,
Great
that's the thing.
Yeah, because he's doing great now. And
We
so,
don't know what we don't hindsight again, right?
Yeah.
Like you can only see how it's going to work out from like looking back
Yeah,
and see where you are now. And then like I have to remind myself of that when I'm feeling my troubles and stuff in the present moment. Like this is all happening for me, not to me. Like
yeah.
there's that little shift, right? Like
Yeah.
this is the reason why I didn't get what I wanted is because something's better, or that could have been way worse for me, or there's just different little switches you can flip in your mindset.
I'm glad it worked out the way it did.
Yeah,
Like, we're still friends now. We're cordial with one another and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, and he's grown up a whole life as a family man now. He's got his business. It's great from what I understand. So more power to you, man.
Absolutely.
Keep kicking ass at life. I hope your business just keeps rocking, bro. But again, this is we're talking about the past and growing up, and
and all the fucking bullshit you have to go through to get where you are.
Again, I'm no saint.
No.
I'm not the easiest person to work with either. I'm just fucking full of shit too.
Hi, I'm James Kerr. I'm a tattoo artist, musician, and a trauma survivor. Been on this healing journey for a long time now, and it's led me here talking to you. I enjoy talking about heavy stuff like life, death, spirituality, trauma, and ways to cope with trauma. But it's not all serious. I like to joke a lot too. Welcome to the Fire of Truth podcast.
Me and Mike decided we were going to open up a spot together. We'd go out and look for buildings and whatnot. And like a week later, I'm tattooing in the shop, and the guys had already started moving their stuff out, and so that had kind of come to a slow hold. So it was just me and Mike there for the most part, and like one other person. And my client comes in and says, "What's going on out there?" I said, "What are you talking about?" While I'm tattooing, he says, and I hear all the noise going on. I thought Mike was just moving shit around. He says, "All your stuff's getting moved out." Excuse me? They're moving all your jewelry cases and all your stuff out the door right now. You know that, right? No, I did not.
Wow.
So, the booths, I was getting tall, so I kind of popped my head out of the booth, and sure enough, there's people. I was like, what the fuck is going on? I'm in the middle of a tattoo. Mike's like, we're moving. And I'm like, what? We? I haven't even looked under for a spot with you yet. We haven't even agreed. No, I already found a building. I already signed for it. I'm like, I thought we were moving. Yeah, you're in. I was, okay, where? He said, oh, it's down by the Denny's. I said, what the fuck? And I said, let me finish this tattoo and let's talk. I'm already moving in. Sign the lease, everything. I'm like, how the fuck did you do that if we're doing this together? Again, necessity makes for strange bedfellow. Went to look. It was the spot right across from Denny's over there. It's like two separate buildings to be like a barber shop or something. And so it was a decent spot, but it had just been hit with that huge earthquake. Remember that huge one we had a while back ago?
Yeah.
Like 15 years ago, it just rocked us fucking huge. Well, the face of that building had fallen off in that fucking earthquake.
Right.
And it was old masonry and real shitty. And I'm like, dude, this is not a great building. Have you done any research? Don't worry about it, Dre. I got it. I said, don't worry about it. I don't think you do. And so, it's this two buildings that are split down the middle. And so, he says, we got both sides. Pick which one you want. I said, I don't want to split sides. I'd rather, we stay on one side be, like the lobby, and the other side be. So, all right, so which you want, front or the back? Window or the back? I'm saying, you pick, He says, all right, I'm going to take the window side. Go ahead. So it takes the front up by the street by the window. Worst pick ever. It rained really hard the first rain, and the building flooded about halfway, about 6 inches deep in water.
Oh, God.
I said, you did not do your research on this fucking building.
Yeah.
Me and Mike did not work out very well.
No.
He, in my opinion, is not the greatest of businessmen. I will never trust that son of a bitch again.
Yeah.
An artist, he's a great guy. But as businessmen, we did not click.
Right.
So things got worse and worse and worse between him and I, to where it was going to be a physical thing. He could be very childish. At the time, he's grown a lot since.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mike.
Yeah.
But, at the time, he had this really annoying habit of, doing very childish things when you were trying to talk with him. He'd be like, hey, so I have a problem. Oh, look, I have a problem. You're just like, it's not necessary.
No,
Yeah, you do that a lot. And you're just like, dude, I'm going to hit you. And so he was like, before it gets to that, I don't want to go there. So I just told him, you know what, dude, I'm going to give you this last month's rent. I'm out, and that's, I packed up and left with no game plan. I just had to get the hell out of there because it was fucking ugly, and I wanted to beat the shit out of that guy.
Once you get to that point where you're resenting people, it's time to go.
It was just unproductive as could be, and there was a lot of shady business going on with him that I just wasn't stoked about. trying to make it like a Hell's Angel shop for a little while, and then, like, you know, I was just like, I'm not okay with that at all. And like, you know, then like at the same time we got like, you know, Mongols coming in there wanting to get tatted, and they're like, oh, they're gonna fight. I'm like, not in here, they're not. Fuck that shit, you know? So yeah, it just didn't work out, unfortunately, and. Well, actually, fortunately, it didn't work out.
Yeah, no, cause that's the thing.
Yeah, because he's doing great now.
We don't know what we don't. Hindsight again, right? Like you can only see how it's going to work out from like looking back, and see where you are now. And then like, I have to remind myself of that when I'm feeling my troubles and stuff in the present moment. Like this is all happening for me, not to me. Like there's that little shift, right? Like this is the reason why I didn't get what I wanted is because something's better, or that could have been way worse for me, or you know, there's just different little switches you can flip in your mindset. You know,
I'm glad it worked out the way it did.
Yeah,
like, we're still friends now. You know, we're cordial with one another and stuff.
Yeah,
you know, like, and he's, you know, grown up a whole life as a family man now. He's got his business. It's great from what I understand. So you know, more power to you, man.
Absolutely.
Keep kicking ass at life. I hope your business just keeps rocking, bro. But you know, again, this is we're talking about the past and growing up, and
and all the fucking bullshit you have to go through to get where you are.
Again, I'm no saint.
No,
I'm not the easiest person to work with either. I'm a fucking spoiled little shit too. So yeah,
someone's like, "Hey, you want a tattoo?" You're like, "No, okay." And then here we are.
So I you know, left there with no game plan whatsoever. Moved my entire shop into my fucking living room in like boxes, and that was just, you know, like, what the fuck do I do? I tried, you know, opening up in my house for a little while. I had like this little really nice room. I was like, I'm gonna clean it all, make it for tattooing. And it worked for like 2 tattoos. People were very disrespectful in my space, and it took it so personal.
I mean, it's your personal space.
Stuff that people could do in the shop that I would have been like, oh, you know,
I'll clean that up. It's fine.
But you do it in my house, and then
like, oh, it's fine, Greg. I got you.
And so I took it way too personal. Just could not do it, and so I was just like, you can't do this like this. You know, I gotta find my own place. And so I went out and did some searching and found a little spot next to Stars in Eureka there, and
I remember I got tattooed there.
Yeah, opened up the Lullaby Lounge. You
Lullaby
know,
Lounge.
Jeremy,
Mr. fucking Gilded Gator now.
Yeah,
you have an apprentice with his own shop out there in the world. Out there in the wild.
Yeah, so that was one of the things with Mike is one of the issues that we had. So when I was working with Mike, he had his best friend Berto, his little sidekick. And I love Berto. Berto's an awesome guy. He was to me after a while. He don't like me anymore. I don't know why.
Who knows?
Berto, if you're hearing this, explain to me why you're a dick. I don't know. So anyway, they were working together. I thought Berto was great. He's apprenticing, and you know how I am. I'm a bit of a shit when it comes to apprenticing people. It might be your apprentice, but if I feel like I got some input, I'm always going to try to help. And if you don't want me to, just tell me.
Absolutely.
And so Berto was having a hard time drawing, and he was trying to draw the way Mike was telling him, and I'm like, it's not working for him. He has a system to how he learns how to draw. So I'm like, here's what I want you to do, Berto. Go home, draw this rose your way. Just whatever works in your mind.
Be where you are.
And draw it the way Mike told you to. And then, you know, I want to see the difference. And so, huge difference. And I was like, well, whatever you're doing here with yours is actually working better. Now we need to take whatever this is and kind of refine it. And Mike came over and saw this and asked what was going on. So we explained it to him. No. You learned the way I fucking told you. And I was just like, damn, bro, that's fucked up. And Berto just fell right in line. And their dynamic was very strange. I mean, one that I've never liked since I was a little kid. I grew up in a little redneck town where white people would be like, oh, you're one of the good ones. It was that kind of dynamic. You know, oh, he's my little grease spot. He's my little Mexican, you know, and that whole thing. And tried doing that with me. And I was just like, don't ever do that. You pat me on the head, bro. I will fuck you. Like, I'm not one of the good ones. You know, I'm not going to stay in my place. Berto was one of those people that's willing to do that and, you know, be that little person. I could not. And so I think in that sense we kind of split our own ways. I don't know if I've really offended him one time. I don't know if you've ever read Malcolm X.
Never read. No.
It's a great book. The biography of Malcolm X. There's this little part in it where he explained, this is gonna be a little hard for some people to hear, so bear with me. But he explains, as he's explaining to somebody in the book, he says there's a difference between the house nigga and the field nigga. The house nigga. The house is on fire. Master's sick. It's our house is burning, massa. Is we okay? You know, that whole mentality. Is we, is our house all right? You know, He says, now the field nigga will see the house on fire. He don't come running with buckets of water. He brings hay. It's not, it's the mass, it's not, is we okay, it's you okay.
Right.
I don't give a shit. It's like that mentality of like, the house nigga who's brought up with all that type of stuff, and spoiled that way, sees the master as his, and will do anything for the master. And then there's the others who are left outside and like to fend for themselves and still have to do for. But we're not going to help you that much.
Right.
I'm that kind of way. I don't do the, pat me on the head and won't stay in line.
Right.
So I don't submit to that stuff. Other people do, and for that fact, we kind of could not hang out.
Right.
And so and while working with Mike and stuff, I just they had Berto. Jeremy came into the picture, wanted to learn how to tattoo. So I'm coming out the shop, chill out. Jeremy immediately comes over. Never had to ask this guy once. He just picks up a broom, starts sweeping at the end of the day. He just starts cleaning stuff off. He's putting stuff away for not just for me, but for everybody in the shop. Like, that's the way it's supposed to be done. He's showing a spot.
Right.
Well, Berto gets a little jealous about it, rightfully so. Mike's like, what the hell? Who's this fucking guy? I was like, it's Jeremy. He's like, cool dude, just coming over, chilling out. We draw every now and then. And he's just like, well, he's not apprenticing because we didn't agree on it. I'm like, that's cool. We did say we would agree, if we brought somebody in.
Right.
Mind you, we've said we'd agree together on a lot of things. Here we are in this building we didn't agree on.
Right.
A lot of things. So I'm like, yeah, whatever. But, still playing by the rules. And I was like, well, what's up with Berto? Like, we never discussed Berto. Oh, Berto's mine. You understand, Berto's my little grease spot. Like, he comes with me everywhere. And I'm like, oh, it's like if you're bringing your dog to work. Like,
right.
It's not an apprentice. It's, you're bringing your
pet.
So,
right.
So I was, just like, wow, Berto, like, I can't believe you let him talk to you like that. And he's just like, oh, it's cool. Like, no, it's not. Not at all. So one day, they're bitching about Jeremy being there. He can't fucking be here. You don't fucking work here, blah, blah, blah. And I said, all right, fine, hold on. We're in the back office, and Jeremy's, in the main room sweeping, just kind of pretending he's not here.
Right. Like, oh, God.
Said, all right, fucking hold on, fuckers. Walk out. Hey, Jeremy, what? You want a job? Yeah. All right. Jeremy now works here. We're just like, oh shit.
So that easy. Yeah.
So that's how Jeremy got in. So that's how Jeremy got into it. As, and then, shortly later, and he had a full-time job and other stuff he was working. So he was there like all the time, he was there as much as he possibly could. And like, respectfully so, I love that he did that. But again, still his lady he was dealing with and work and all that stuff. And so he was there as much as he could. And then I had, got into it with Mike, shut it down. And so I was like, hey, Jeremy, like, I'm sorry, I just took you on as an apprentice. And then I have to shut down for a little while. Like, it's kind of fucked up. Yeah. Not the best mentor ever, Right. And so searched around for a while, found the spot by Stars, and he helped me move in there. Jeremy, and like, that shop there, I like to say, is a shop that Love built. Yeah. When we got there, it was trashed, not trashed, but like it had like 6 layers of carpet, old paint, just, shitty plumbing, terrible everything. People did all the work in that place. In less than 30 days, we turned that place completely from a shithole into the super nice shop that it was in less than 30 days with just no money involved. Yeah, rad. Like all through trade of tattoo and like barter system. The construction guys I had were 3 of my best friends, or one of my best friends with 2 of his homies. Yeah. They came in, Damon. That dude is magical. Shout out to Damon for being one of the best carpenters in the fucking world. Like, this dude can build you anything if you just even slightly explain it to him. Right. And he don't half-ass nothing. Everything in that shop was perfect. Webb came through, did all the painting. And did that immaculate. Yeah, he's so Shout out to Webb. The
my
baddest
homie.
motherfucker. By the way, Webb, I fucking miss you, bro. I haven't seen you in a little bit. I love you, dude.
He's working for Caltrans now.
Yeah, he is. Dude, he's getting everything in life that he deserves.
He's getting paid, dude.
He's getting paid. He's got a good job. He's got a good lady. He's got that sweet car. Like,
good. He's got a good lady.
Yeah, he's doing so great, dude. I am so happy for that guy right now.
I need to reach out to him again. It's been a minute since
he's doing so good. But yeah, like Webb, there was Damon, Jeremy, and like a few other folks who came in, and like, I told them, I told people I was just fucking so eager to get it wrong. I was like, we're opening on this day, and they were like, that's like a month away. I was like, I know. What the fuck, Dre? I was like, I don't know. Let's get to work. And so we made it happen though. Yeah. Like new floors, new electricals, new plumbing, like sinks installed, like walls, sheetrock, paint, everything, dude. All moved in and ready to go a day early. Right. like, because these guys did this and not a dollar exchanged in any of this, was all just done out of love. So I told people, this is a shop that love built, and it had that energy in there. You know, it was such a happy little place. It was the tiniest little shop,
Right.
but it was such a fun little spot. Yeah. And so they had that place with Jeremy well, Jeremy left me after a couple of years. He split and went off to work for Ink Addiction, because you know what?
Or NorCal.
Or NorCal. I'm sorry, NorCal. My apologies.
Yeah, Ink
He went off
Addiction's
to work-
gone
yeah, he
now.
went to work for
We drank
NorCal,
ourselves to death.
Yeah. We drowned in our own stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, he went to work with NorCal. I was going through a lot at the time, a lot of transitions in life myself, so I was really not in the head state to be the best mentor I could have been to him.
Yeah.
And like, you know, like for me, like I told him when we started the apprenticeship, like, if you're not better than me when we're done with this, then I failed you.
Yeah.
Because I want you to have all my experience plus some. So
Right.
that should technically, theoretically make you better than me.
Right.
And he's on his way, man. The
Yeah.
guy's just
Oh yeah. He's
brilliant.
killing it right
He's
now,
killing
dude.
it,
Yeah. Yeah.
Jeremy's.
You fucker.
But yeah, so I kept that shop going though for, I want to say, like 9 years there. And then the building unfortunately got sold out from underneath me, but the owner of it did some dirty business. And
That was right around the pandemic, huh?
yeah, just before the pandemic. Yeah.
Right.
And so, which actually like wasn't the worst situation ever. I owned a house already in Eureka. So what I did is I went to that place, I stripped it down completely, did like I did to the other house. You know, I really love the idea of a house as a shop more than like, you know, the regular street shop thing.
More comfortable and
there's
safe
that.
feeling.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, I really love the feeling of that. And this, throughout my years of experience, even before like, you know, Ink Addiction days and like early years, I got to go to a couple of shops with some of these legends, and that's what theirs were. You know, they were so so established that they didn't have to have a street shop. They could be off in the woods somewhere, and people would still come to see them because of their work was so great,
Yeah.
and the place was so beautiful. You know,
What Guy Atchison is doing.
yeah, exactly. Guys,
Yeah.
just one of those
Yeah.
people. You know, seeing that setup was just like, the fuck,
Yeah.
dude.
In the middle of the woods.
Yeah,
just
and
big windows and yeah.
and there was like secret sidewalk that I got to work with Eddie Reyes and those guys. Theirs was super private and chill, like beautiful places like that. That I was like, why aren't more people doing this? So yeah, that's what the first Lullaby Lounge was a house that was turned into a shop just to give that really nice feel to it. And everybody that came there loved it.
I loved it. It was nice.
I miss that shop still to this
Yeah.
day, and like it's still not rented out. It's still sitting empty. Like 7-8 years.
They're
later.
losing money.
Yeah, it's still
Wow.
it's still painted so nice. I'm like, I just want to rent it again.
Yeah. Yeah.
But when I got it, I got it like, you know, it was like, I think I was paying like $800 a month or something.
Oh,
like,
wow,
it was
yeah.
such a good deal. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so,
Not gonna find that
so when
anymore.
I stripped it all down, the new house, made 2 booths out of it, a spare bedroom, and you know, for a guest artist to stay in, has a full bathroom in the kitchen and all that stuff for them to cook and eat. You know, and living room was the art gallery space, and then there's a big backyard and all that. And it's right next to Sequoia Park. So I set all this up to have all these guest artists that because I'm meeting people from all over, traveling everywhere, and so I went out and traveled, got the place set up, got it booked out for like a year from all these people that wanted to come, and then the pandemic said, "Shut the fuck up! You're getting nothing, Dre."
Yeah. Hi, this is James. Thank you so much for watching and listening to this podcast. If you're watching on YouTube right now, do me a huge favor and give it a like and subscribe to the channel. If you're listening to whatever platform you listen to podcasts on, you could rate it, you could review it, you could share it with a friend as well. That would help me out a lot. Either way, thank you very much.
And so all those people I booked out for a year, of course, couldn't come anymore. There's people from like New Zealand, there's people from Mexico City, like, you know, from places that was definitely not flying in, nobody's flying in, you know, that kind of thing.
No.
So they were like, dude, we're stuck here for a while. We don't know, you know, we'll get a hold of you. And like, you know, so just, I spent so much time and money put into that, and then the pandemic hit and like just shut all that down. So I you know, did what I had to do to survive. But then, you know, the long side of it, you know, like, they're still recovering after so long. It takes a while to recover. And then, you know, you can't leave your shop for a while that's going on. And then when you finally get to a certain point, you know, where you can leave, there's so many other things to do. And so, yeah, just never quite picked up.
I'm in the same boat, dude. Yeah. And that's what brought you back to NorCal, or brought you to NorCal Tattoo, and you're working there part-time as well as running your own shop at the same time now. This is kind of the last question then for today, because I think we're like Yeah, we're at an hour and 40 minutes now. So
Sorry,
no,
too
don't
much.
apologize. This is great. We'll have you come back if you don't mind, because I really like to take maybe do a whole episode with you on your freestyle therapy that you do. We're not gonna be able to get to it this time,
That's all
but
right.
yeah. So we're in recovery still, in recovery mode from the pandemic. That's what you were getting
Yeah,
at? Yeah. Let's hear about that for a little bit.
Well, just like for most part, like most of us were the shops weren't even allowed to have more than one person in it.
I remember that. It's so
Yeah,
weird.
and see, I always worked privately with one person anyway, so it didn't affect me too hugely in that sense.
I keep doing this, but that's what this studio was for
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
This was my one person at a time
your
place.
safe space. Yeah, and so and kept that going for a long time. It's been great, but after a little while, I started doing other art things. I wanted to develop. Like sometimes to move forward, I feel like you have to go all the way back.
Yeah, exactly.
And so I've been doing that exactly. Just stepped all the way back with my art to the very foundations and started relearning. So I stepped back from tattooing for a little bit because in the 20 years I've been tattooing, I've seen a lot of fads come and go. There was tribal, and then you got the sacred geometry, and then all these in betweens. And now, in my opinion, one of the worst ones we've been through in 20 years of my tattooing is the line work phase, where everybody just wants line work.
Yeah.
And they want the daintiest little line work.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
If it has shading in it, it's like almost not, it's not even visible most part. And
I know.
being a big piece kind of artist, like that's what we grew up on,
Yeah.
biggest piece possible. As much
Something you
detail
can see from across the street,
like
dude.
make it pop,
Yeah.
to what we're doing now. It's a real struggle sometimes. So I decided to step back for a little while and just kind of focus on like painting, oil painting, doing graffiti.
I'd love to throw some pictures of your tattoos and some of your paintings. So maybe after this, you can send me what you'd like.
I'd love to,
4 pictures of like 2 tattoos, 2 paintings.
Yeah, and so I stepped back to learn more about my oil painting, studied color theory. One of the people also I want to mention is a shout out to Jody Wells.
Jody Wells.
Jody Wells, one of the greatest tattoo artists I've ever met in my life. This guy knows more about color theory art than most anybody I've ever known.
Yeah.
My ability to freehand tattoo work stems
From
solely
him.
from that guy teaching me. He blew my mind with his freehand ability.
Yeah.
He still does to this day. I don't know if I'll ever be able to touch that man's skill, and
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. Just running to try to catch up with him is okay with me. I love it.
Yeah.
So what was I talking about? The totally forgetting this.
Yeah, I know the cameras come on and then fucking you were talking about let's see. We were talking about you got to NorCal Tattoo, so we were talking about recovering from the pandemic.
So started doing all that kind of stuff and just tattooing on my own enough. It started to slow down. I took a step back, like I said.
Right.
And then went to talk with Ted and ran into Ted a few times, and he was just like, I'd love to put together a crew of some of
the old heads,
and kind of just have that feel and the vibe. And then he mentioned James Kerr, pretty much had me at that.
Yeah, even after Ink Addiction, man, we're still. Well, I mean, we've been.
We've, like you were talking about the ships passing. We've always come together in some form or another, and
we're working together again now.
I've told people many, many a times, James, you're probably one of my favorite people I've ever worked with. I have more fun around you than anybody else. The banter between us is ridiculous.
Yeah,
it should
dude.
Not be like, there's not enough HRs in the world.
I love when you
cover
threw
us.
we use a bean bag and then you fucking for the flag.
Yeah, there's just not enough beanbags for
That
us
one
both,
got me good, dude. The other day, I'll remember that forever.
Definitely one of my favorite people I've ever
Likewise,
worked with,
dude.
man.
Likewise.
From day one, didn't matter how hard of a time it is. And the other thing too is as hard of a time I've ever had for you. We'll go back real quick on one of those.
Oh yeah.
One of these stories I have is a person actually. I was tattooing somebody, and you were tattooing somebody. You put the stencil on their arm. And you were having a hard time getting the place because they kept wanting it moved.
Oh God.
And then you finally got it, or I think you wanted it.
Yeah.
And then you asked what we thought of it, and they asked what we thought of it. And so they asked me and my client. We told you guys, like move it or something like that, and you lost it on us. Like you just fucking lost it. You were like, "Fuck you, dude! Don't fucking say shit to me. You don't fucking know nothing. My fucking tattoo.
I'm not moving this motherfucker anymore.
Fucking eat a dick, motherfucker. Who asked you?" And we were like, "You did."
Yeah, I did, bro.
And not so much that you went off on me, but you went off on my client. They were just
I'm
like,
so
"Dude."
sorry.
And they were just like, "Oh shit!" And that, but this is the moral of the story is why I knew I loved you from then. Is I was like, you and I need to go outside and talk. And you're like, "Yeah, we do." And we went outside, and you were like, "I'm fucking sorry."
Yeah.
You owned it 100%. Apologized to me. Apologized to him.
Yeah.
And we're just like, I'm fucking sorry I said that to you. Like, I did ask you what you thought, and then I yelled at you for it, and I'm fucking sorry.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's a huge fucking thing. Most people would not do that. They will just rather fucking burn down with that ship than to
no,
say,
dude.
to own up to being wrong. So at that, man, it's one of those moments where I was like, I hate this motherfucker. And then I was like, dude, he's totally owned it. Like, you gotta love and respect somebody who does that. And so a lot of love and respect for you, man.
Yeah, you too, brother. Thank you for being here. Come here.
This one.
Yeah, we're gonna have you back
I would love to come back
as soon as we can.
Again.
Yes, please, because I really want people to know about what you do for the freestyle therapy. Maybe give them like a few words on what it is that you do, and then they can look you up and ask you about it.
Awesome. So every Wednesday between 5:30 and 7, me and a group of guys for the last year and a half, I've been doing it. They've been doing it for like 4 or 5 years apparently. We meet up under the bridge in Samoa, or not Samoa, the Samoa Bridge in Old Town. Right in Old Town where the bridge is right there. We meet up in that little parking lot, and we get together and we bring, beats that some people make, some that we just, you can find online or whatever, but just instrumental beats of all sorts and types. And we just talk it out. Like we freestyle lyrics out. We freestyle, like I talk about like myself and what I got going on. We just get it all out. And some of the stuff people say there is some of the deepest and most hardcore, like, secret, like, just stuff that I've told people there, like I've told you things that I've never told them. Right. We just put it to music. Sometimes we even turn the music on and just spoken word style, but it's this amazing form of therapy which started with like maybe 5 guys, and now on a regular basis we'll have up to like 20 plus people.
That's amazing.
And it's just guys and girls,
and
they'll come and like you can sing. We have people who bring instruments every now and then, like poets, like, and we just express ourselves, and we go in a circle and give each other equal amounts of time to listen to what everybody's got to say. We respectfully listen to one another, and there are some talented people that show up to this thing, and like some of it's so powerful to make you cry, some of it's so powerful to make you just hug people and love, like but it's every end of the spectrum, from happiness to sadness to anger and joy, like, and
it's a community.
It's a community feeling, and we support one another, and everybody's got each other's contacts, so sometimes you get a random call from somebody, hey, I'm having a really hard time, so what can I do for you? Like,
it's fucking rad.
What can I do? What's going to help you out right now? And sometimes it's just being there to listen. Sometimes can you come pick me up? Sometimes it's like it can be anything, and so and it's not only people calling me, but I can also reach out if I need to, so it's a beautiful thing. It's a really cool therapy. It's put on by Sequoia Falk. He puts it on. He's the originator of it. Shout out to Sequoia. He's an amazing music producer. He does some amazing stuff, and the guy put this on and created the whole thing, and it's been running pretty strong and just getting stronger as we're going. So it's pretty crazy to see that we started off with just a couple of people, and
it's just growing.
And like people love it. They keep coming through. It's so strange now. Sometimes it's like being a animal in a zoo in a sense, or like being like an animal, like when people are out on safari and they drive in the vans and stuff, and they just like pull up and watch the lions eat and stuff, We have people who work, because in that little area parking lot we're at, there's homeless people everywhere. It's a little homeless encampment for the most part. There's junkies, people fighting, all this kind of crazy, it's every ghetto aspect you can think of in there. But that's one of the reasons we do it there, is because we even get homeless people who come in and are like, hey, can I talk? Like, come tell us your story, bro. And then sometimes they do it in rhyme. Some people are just they just, while they're having shakes and withdrawals, just tell us about it, and we're like, cool, talk about it, bro. Like,
well, the opposite of depression isn't happiness, it's expression. Right. So fuck, dude.
So we
medicine is what you guys are doing.
We go down there and we do that for them, and like we put it on, so it's like a crazy scene down there. Sometimes it scares the shit out of people, but in the last like few months I've noticed during summer, especially because we get a lot of tourists coming through, people will pull up in their vans and they'll be like, like the whitest of white people in this really nice van. And, they'll roll their windows down so much. You see little cameras and we're just freestyling. Some of them are recording. And, and like, I'll put, sometimes if we notice they're there, there'll be like 2 or 3 little vans. And then, they're just watching, drinking. Drinks, drinking Starbucks, watching, like, look at these guys, look at.
Yeah.
And they'll roll their windows up and drive out of there because, people are like, hey, you got change? They're like, no. It's a really cool thing, though. It's been, like, I've told a few people there, like, I might not even be here if it wasn't for that place.
Yeah,
like,
right.
It's some very, very deep therapy.
Yeah.
Definitely talk more about it later.
I would love that.
But yeah, it's a beautiful thing. But yeah, Sequoia Falk put it on, and like because
thank you, Sequoia.
Like,
thank you, Dre.
You should come down sometime if you.
I would love to. Sundays.
Wednesdays.
Wednesdays even. What time?
5 to 7.
5 to 7.
Yeah, we rock
Pacific Standard Time.
We rock it down there. Yeah, and even the cops come down there every now and then. We've had a few cops come down and freestyle with us.
Right.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. It's amazing like how many people come in, and we tell people, just so you know, it is not a spectator sport.
You got to participate.
Even if you do one line, it doesn't have a rhyme even. We tell people, you can't just hang out and watch. The people in the van, they're lucky because they can drive away.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I make them. And we've even gone up to people like, hey, this is not a spectator sport. You got to bust a rhyme. And they're like,
right.
And dude, there has been a mom and a dad, like in 2 separate families, like, would not have ever expected it. Like, super clean. And the mom was just like, I'm a fucking rapping mom. I'm gonna get on your case. I got little fucking kids all up in my face. I was just like, what? I was like, you're a badass. And their kids were yelling, Mom. She's like, they're over here talking shit as we speak. And I'm just like, holy yeah, she just rocked it. And then the dad came out, again, a different family. He just rocked it too.
Yeah.
Even his wife was like, I was like, oh, your husband's got skills, lady. You didn't even know. He's tipping game right now. He got back in the car like, oh. I was like,
it feels good, dude, to put yourself out there. Take that risk. Yeah. And that's the reward, though, is taking the risk and then moving the energy and putting it out there into the universe.
Yeah, when you put it out there, the stuff you get back is phenomenal.
And when people high-five you for that, that's what it is. That's where it's like, that's the energy coming back.
Yeah, I've told some of my darkest sides of my life stories, and afterwards got a hug from people and a high five because they related. Which one of those moments in life where you think nobody has ever been through this horrible.
Exactly.
And then you realize just how many other people have gone
through lot of people.
Yeah,
that's what this podcast is about too. Is like having this forum to express yourself, and I'm as tattoo artists, it's our job to help others express themselves on their bodies through visual art so they can wear their hearts on their sleeve.
That's a great way of putting it.
Right, so that's what we're doing. That's an extension of that. Like what you're doing is an extension of that as well. It's still, and it's community building, and it's unifying, and it shows people that you're not alone.
Yeah, we're definitely not, man.
Right, yeah. And that's important to know, especially when you are depressed, because that you go into that freeze response in the nervous system, the fight, flight, freeze response. The depression is the freeze response. And you get locked in, and for me, when I go through depression, I don't want to reach out. I don't want people to reach for me either. I'm in that freeze response. I'm locked up. I'm stuck. And that doesn't mean I'm happy or sad or anything. All of that shit's pressed down.
You get almost numb.
You get numb, yeah. And so that's why whenever you start getting into more panicky, you start getting more angry, that's actually a good thing. You're starting to climb that ladder back into more safety, more social, more
I told people before, it's okay to be angry. It's okay to feel depressed, and just don't live there.
Yeah. Let it live with you.
Yeah.
Don't live
express it,
in it.
Don't live in it is all you gotta do.
Yeah. One of the questions that in trauma coaching and stuff that I was asked when I was learning about all that is, are you in it or are you with it? You'd rather be with it than in it, right? It can be in the passenger seat, it can be in the back seat. It can't consume you. You can't let it and it does. It will.
Oh yeah, definitely will.
It will. But when you notice that, then you can kind of create this. Let's be together. Let's not.
It's a natural part of existence.
It is.
Just try to deny it.
Right.
Those people with a good vibe only sticker. I'm like, oh, that's cool.
Part of it.
But there's more than just good. If you don't recognize the bad, you're never really going to acknowledge how great the good is.
Because just like art, life is contrast. Yeah. Light source.
Yeah.
It needs shadows. Oh God.
Sometimes that sense of community and seeing that other people are going through it will get you through that. Like I was telling you the other day, I was like, was that the you and I put the you and I into unity?
Oh, that's right.
And that's what forms this community.
Yeah. Oh, fucking say that again. I'll stop interrupting.
You and I put the you and I into unity, and that's what forms this whole community. Like without that, there really is no you and me.
Oh, fuck. There was more, too. Yeah, okay. So I think that's a great...
That's the realness of it right there,
Yeah. Fucking A. Love you, brother.
I love you, man.
Yeah. We'll have you back soon, all right?
Well, this is a great honor.
Yeah, same
Huge
here,
honor.
man. And this is... We'll expand on this because I think there's a lot there. On
even
the
though
next
we
one.
said we were not going to get into that question, we still kind of dove into
I had to. So what if this is going to be 4 episodes?
a lot of editing, Dre.
Yeah. All right.
Damn it, where's your light source, you son of a bitch?
Cut. Yeah. Light source. All right, good, dude. I think that's
James and Dre.
Yeah, James and Dre. Yeah, we're out.